Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So it's week 6 now, and I had not quite as bad of a week this week as I did the last couple of weeks. I'm getting better. I actually wanted to talk today about kind of my plan for, and maybe it'll help some of you as well, but kind of my plan for how I'm going to kind of help myself stay focused, because that's my big problem right now, is my ADHD is kicking in, and which makes me get distracted really easily, and I mean that's what ADHD is. But one of the consequences of that is I will get more interested in like watching a Netflix show or watching a bunch of YouTube videos or something like that, rather than the language learning that I should be doing. So I've come up with a couple of ways that I'm actually combating that, and I've tried one of these over the last couple of days, and it's been working pretty well. So one of them is, while also, and I don't have it here, but while also going through my Japanese from Zero book, I'm also now going to add on a language learning app that I have discovered that I really like, called Busuu. And Busuu has been really good so far in the last few days. Like I said, I've been using it since today is Sunday, and I've been using it since about Thursday, so a few days now. That's when I kind of rediscovered it, because I'd kind of messed around with it before and not really done much with it after that. So far, since I started using Busuu again, it's been really good. There's a few, and I'll go through, maybe one of these videos I'll go through a little more in depth of what the app actually looks like, and what the things you can do with it, and how it's helpful. Well, how it could be helpful for some people. But for me, I think it's just kind of a different. I think that's it's just different, and that's why it's kind of helped me kind of get back into doing the studying like I should be. Because like continuously doing the book studying, for me normally, like, it was doing pretty well after the first 2 or 3 weeks or whatever it was. But normally, and I knew this was probably going to happen, I just wasn't fully prepared for it because of everything that was going on at work and stuff like that. But I wasn't prepared for my normal, just like complete falling off the bandwagon that happens when I'm using something like a textbook or something like that. And so the Busuu app kind of helps give me just something different to utilize. It has like a really nice interface that I really like, and has a couple of features that I really like, and I might go into those maybe next week or something like that. So that's one of the ways that I'm kind of combating my ADHD and kind of getting myself back into the swing of studying Japanese every day. And because, yes, I did finally miss one day, and I do count it as a miss because the only thing that I did that day was that I happened to watch an episode of Sword Art Online solely in Japanese. It's the only thing I did in Japanese that day. And so, but for me, yes, technically it counts, but for me, I don't count it. And for studying a language seriously, you really need to be studying every single day, and you need to be really diligent about it. So that's what I'm trying to make sure that I do. And Busuu is kind of helping with that. The other thing, actually just not too long before recording this video, I let Anna know about the plan and everything. So a lot of people do really well with something like this, like language learning or whatever, if they have a goal that they're shooting for. And generally, like, I can do fairly decent when I have a goal I'm shooting for, but it hasn't been, at least for this, it hasn't been doesn't seem to at least have been as strong of a motivator for me. So what I'm going to start trying is actually kind of the opposite. So the shooting for a goal is kind of a positive reinforcement thing. You're studying this to get to, Japanese or Spanish or whatever to get to this point. You're getting a reward. You're getting the A1 level or the A2 level, and that's your intermediate goals. And that can kind of help be a positive reinforcement. Oh, look at how well I'm doing. But for me, over the course of at least the next couple of weeks, we'll see how it goes. But I think it'll work pretty well. I'm going to try, for me, I guess you could call it negative reinforcement, but it's not necessarily. It's just giving consequences to myself. And so what I mean by that is, what I'm going to do is that, because one of my problems, as I mentioned before, or just a second ago, is I get distracted and start watching YouTube or Netflix or something like that. So what am I going to do? I'm now setting a limit, stipulation on myself. Let's call it that. A stipulation on myself that I am not allowed to watch Netflix or watch YouTube videos or get on Hulu or Funimation or anything like that until I have studied my Japanese for at least an hour, if not an hour and a half, or 2 hours, or whatever it happens to be. But at the very minimum, 1 full hour. And now that doesn't necessarily need to be a full 60 minutes in one shot. It can be, depending on the situation and if I have time that day or anything like that. You know, it could be, 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening, or something like that. But at least a full 60 minutes in the day. Until I hit that 60 minutes, I cannot watch Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, whatever. Why did I tell Anna about this? Well, partially because she is being supportive, even though she doesn't care one whit about, like, the Japanese language or about learning it or anything like that. She knows that I do. But so why did I tell her? Because I need somebody who will hold me accountable. I gave her permission to essentially ask me if I've studied my Japanese. If I haven't studied my Japanese, and I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to show her how to check on, like, the Busuu app if I've done my studying and how long I've done it, because there's actually a function in there which I will go through in the review of Busuu, which shows you how long you've studied that day, which is actually one of the things I like about it. But I'm going to show her that option, and if I have not studied for at least an hour, I give her permission to essentially slap my phone out of my hands and tell me to go study some more. So, hopefully, this kind of keeps me on track, because we have, let's see, it's March, March, like, 15th right now. So it's the Sunday, March 15th, when I'm recording this. And when you're first seeing this, possibly. And we have our Disney trip in December 1st. So I have less than 9 months to get to a basic level of fluency. And I'm talking, like, very basic, like, just basic conversations. If I happen to be a little better than that, great. If not, or if I'm just at that basic level, awesome. That's what I want to get to. But I feel like having these kind of consequences for myself, having these stipulations on it, will kind of help me to focus more and get it done so that I can do these other things. I guess it's kind of a positive reinforcement. I get rewarded for studying my Japanese by being able to watch YouTube videos and stuff like that. For myself, I'm going to, and there's going to be no stipulations on this, but when I do get to, finish my Japanese studying in the day, when I do watch my, the Netflix or Hulu or YouTube or whatever, I'm going to try my hardest to stick to solely watching things in Japanese. So watching the anime, there's a couple of Japanese YouTubers that I watch. So only watching those shows or videos, at least for the foreseeable future. So, that's kind of where I'm going. And if that is something that helps other people as well, go for it. Like, you don't have to always have some positive thing that you're shooting for. If that's not working for you, do what I'm doing. Try the opposite. Try a negative thing. You can't do this because you still have to do this. I don't know. For me, it's just, I'm just trying different things to figure out what's going to help me to do a little better, to stay a little more focused. Because this is something that I am very serious about, and it is something that I want to get to. I want to get to a high level of fluency in Japanese. And so it's something that I am willing to try whatever it takes to get to that point. So, but yeah, so thank you all for joining this week, and hopefully I'll see you all again next week. But until then, don't forget to thank the Phoenicians.
Let's get some sun.